This is a Fox 17 Winter Weather Alert.
It is 6:40, everybody. Just a few ticks away from 6:41 on this Friday morning. It is January 10th, and temperatures not feeling January-like. We've been in the upper 40s to near 50 degrees for a lot of hours now. Snowpack, those piles have been melting. It is a wet start with drizzle, areas of mist that have been ongoing in the overnight. Look at these temperatures. The entirety of the West Michigan viewing area well above normal. We should be about 20 degrees in overnight this time of year, even the upper teens. So you can see the discrepancy, but the colder air is lurking just off to the west. However, it's not going to be moving in as quickly as you may think just by looking at these current observations. It's getting hung up, the cold air, for a several-hour stretch until overnight tonight. It will dive southward and pretty quickly, and then meeting up with some moisture, allowing for this freezing rain and sleet event, ultimately even some snow, I do believe, by later tomorrow night. So that's another factor that we've got to talk about. South or southwest winds recently and right now about 5 to as high as 15 miles per hour, but the winds are going to be backing down. Really, if you're moving around lunchtime thereafter today, I don't think you're going to be noticing much in the way of air motion, as these temperatures will be situated in the mid-40s, tending to lose a degree or two. I think as we go along, the real core of the mildness to the air is going to be losing it slowly but surely, but it'll be overnight tonight when really the colder air dives in from the north. Winter storm warnings now in effect. These were winter weather, winter storm watches up until about a couple hours ago when they were updated from the National Weather Service. And also another component with this system is going to be the strong winds. So when you take into account sustained winds in the 20s and gusts into the 30s, perhaps even the 40s, along with freezing rain and sleet, that becomes a problem, because if you accrue ice on the trees and the power lines, and then you've got winds blowing like this, well, we can see what the potential is to occur, and that's what we're afraid of. But still some things have to come together here, folks, and I'll detail it in just a second. Low pressure over Oklahoma. The upper level low is still out over New Mexico, but it all comes together, starts to move off to the northeast. The main axis of moisture on a trajectory away from us at the moment, though we are getting a bit of mist and drizzle around. Not being detected well by the radar, though, because it is very light, are these rain droplets, and will continue to be that way this morning into the afternoon. Any chance for sunshine today? No, zero chance for that. This overcast remains in place. Some drizzle between now and early afternoon. There may be a phase at some point this afternoon where we go completely rain-free, even the drizzle, before it starts to build back in, and a wider spread area of rain and heavy rain likely to start to get going after around 8:30, 9 o'clock into the overnight, and that'll be a plain rain. I think around 7 o'clock in the morning we transition to some freezing rain and sleet locally. Of course, several hours before that for northernmost sections of the viewing area. One of the questions, though, question marks with this system, looking at the latest runs of the models, is how quickly is this initial batch of moisture going to get out of here? Because this RPM model wants to send it off to the east right around the time the air becomes cold enough to turn us over to some freezing rain and sleet. I do think there will be light amounts of that even if this does play out this way through the mid-morning period tomorrow. So we'll become slippery on the car tops and, of course, the shrubbery. There may be a phase, though, tomorrow morning where it takes a while to start to see this become slippery on the roadways due to the fact that we've been so mild the last day and a half. So we'll see how that goes. But no question, later in the day into tomorrow night, another area of moisture comes in, and that likely will be sleet and freezing rain, especially south of Grand Rapids at that time. We may be cold enough to turn this over to snow, though, for a period and deposit a 2 to 4 inch snow. That's what we've got going right through the GR area to Ionia, Greenville, the lighter shade or dimmer shade of pink, Kalamazoo and Battle Creek. That's the zone where more likely freezing rain will be a bigger factor. I do think we'll get a number of hours of sleet, though, here in Grand Rapids. So typically you go from rain to freezing rain to sleet to snow, and even a zone where there may be 6+ inches, northernmost sections of the viewing area. We'll take a look at that again coming up. Here's the 7-day. We got some prospects for light rain and snow showers next week. Don't see any big storms. And how about returning to the lower 40s?